Hello and welcome to Teach Online TV. My name is Tyler Basu and I am joined today by a very special guest from Mexico, actually, Luis Pelayo. Did I say that correctly? Pronounce that correctly?
Yes, in your American accent, yes, it's right.
Exactly. Luis has been using Thinkific to teach Spanish courses, and he went through a challenge earlier this year called the 30 and 30 challenge, where we put together some training to help online course creators enroll 30 students in 30 days. And he went through the challenge, he implemented everything that he learned, and he more than doubled what the goal for the program was. We wanted him to get 30 students, and I think he ended up with 70, if I'm not mistaken, after that challenge. And you, of course, you've done a great job since then of enrolling students into your courses. So I just wanted to thank you for your time, for spending some time with us today, and for allowing us to learn more about your journey as a course creator and some of the factors that have contributed to your success as an instructor. So Luis, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyler. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. I apologize for my English. As you know, I'm not a native English speaker, but I will try to do my best.
No worries. That sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I know I introduced you a little bit there, but could you tell everyone who's listening and who's watching this just a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into creating online courses?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Mexican. I'm native Mexican Spanish speaker. I have a PhD in philosophy. I worked for 12 years in the business of publishing magazines and books and edition. And we started to create online courses 3 years ago with my sister. We tried to create a business to teach Spanish as a second language, because we detected in the market some certain needs, and we wanted to offer a product and a service that fill these needs in the market. So that's what we do.
And one of the reasons why I'm intrigued by your story is because we have a lot of people who create courses, but they're worried that there's already courses about that topic out there. And language is a perfect example, because there are a lot of places people can go to learn Spanish or to learn other languages. There's a lot of courses. So how did you differentiate yourself, I guess, or how did you put together some kind of a unique value proposition, you might call it, on your course, because you're getting into a very competitive space, a very competitive topic. So what was your approach when you created your course on this particular subject?
Yes, of course. Well, the first thing I would like to say to all online course creators is that you got to be very patient. Very patient, because we are doing this business in parallel with some other activities. You cannot dedicate 100% to the online course business and expect immediate results. You have to have a second plan. You have an alternative, because it's going to take a long time to get success.
Well, success doesn't happen overnight?
No. Just you know by yourself. Yeah. But it has taken for us 3 years since we first registered the trademark. We bought the web domain, etc. We started to create the idea, the project, and we've been in the market for, I could say, 1.5 years. Mm-hmm. And we are every day struggling with how to get new customers. As you said, language courses are very, very competitive product. And you, as an English speaker, might know very well-known products and services to learn Spanish. I will not say the names, because I don't want to make them free promotion, but that's the real problem we are facing here. How to let people know about us. We have built a web page, we have designed and developed our courses, we have teachers, and we are struggling every day to let people know about our business.
Mm-hmm. So can you walk us through? I know that you've this past year you've done a lot more marketing for your courses, but the first step is usually creating a course, right? So can you walk us through when you were first getting started? You decided you were going to teach Spanish. Walk us through the process of creating your course. Were you using Thinkific at that point, or did you create elsewhere and then find us later? And what kind of technology and were you using at the time?
We arrived at Thinkific 6 months ago. So at the beginning, we had the idea. We wanted something. We didn't know if a course on Spanish or something related to travel or something related to Mexican culture. We didn't know. We started to study the market and we detected a need. And the need is that there are 21 million students in the world studying Spanish right now. And Spanish is becoming more and more important every day in international communication. You might know that Spanish is the second most important language in international communication after English. And of course, the second most spoken language in terms of number of speakers after Mandarin Chinese. And is the third most used language in social networks, on internet. So Spanish is becoming every day more and more important. And Spanish speakers are everywhere, are virtually everywhere in every country. You are a perfect example of that because you're being Canadian, you are married to a Spanish speaker from El Salvador. So we detected the need of having a very good product, a very good service that focus the teaching not in the difficult aspects of the language. We have many examples of programs that focus teaching on grammar structures or learning a lot of lists of words, long lists of words, prepositions, grammar, conjugations. And then students end by saying, well, it's very difficult. Spanish is very difficult. And the perfect example is when students of college or high school in the United States, for example, study Spanish for 3, 4, 5 years, and all they can say is, hola, y no hablo español. That's what they can say. And so we detected the need of having a new approach to language teaching. And we started, this is our unique value proposition, trying to make the Spanish learning process easy and intuitive and a subconscious process. And we created the course with this focus.
Right. And so in terms of content, like what kind of content is in the course? Are they video lessons? Is it audio? Is it like how are you transferring your knowledge of the Spanish language to your students?
Well, we offer 2 different products.
Okay.
Online self-teaching courses and live classes with native Spanish teachers. And of course, the heart of these products and services, our webpage. The heart is the center of this product and service is our webpage. At the beginning, we developed our own webpage with a web designer, and we tried to figure what it should has. We tested, we added new things, etc. And 6 months ago, we came to Thinkific and discovered that there were experts who were doing what we needed. And it was very easy for me, for example, to add, to take off, to include new things without having a web designer, without previous knowledge of web design or programming. So the web page is the center of our product. In our page, Spanish to Move, which is the abbreviation of our motto, learn Spanish today. It's time to move forward. In the web page, you can find 2 different products. Online courses, you can study them at your own pace, and your own time, at your own rhythm, and live classes with native Spanish teachers. And these courses are divided into 5 levels, from absolute beginners to basics, intermediate and advanced students, and also a travel course if you need to learn certain useful phrases when traveling, and a web page to book live classes with different teachers who have different accents depending on the specific accent you want to learn. For example, the Mexican Spanish accent, or the Colombian or the Spanish accent, etc.
So you're actually connecting students to Spanish-speaking instructors based on like geographically, based on which countries they're in, and so that they can learn that specific accent or.
Exactly, and these teachers work for us. And we offer these online courses, and the perfect mix is having an online teacher who can guide you in this process. For example, we recommend our students to study 3 or 4 or 5 lessons depending on the course, and then having one live session to have feedback and to study again, to ask questions, etc., to our instructors.
Okay.
For example, the elementary. Let's take the example of the elementary Spanish course. It has 45 lessons. All of our courses have 45 lessons, and each lesson consists of audio lesson, video lesson, and text lesson. It's basically the same content. First, you have to read the text to have an idea of what is being said in Spanish. Then you have the audio to get used to Spanish pronunciation, sounds, and you have a video with simultaneous translation into English, like the subtitles of a movie. So you can listen and at the same time read how it's written in Spanish.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting because it's a new approach to learning a language. You listen, you read, in the same time you learn how to write, and you can read to have an idea, previous idea on the topic of a lesson. And we start by the very elementary contents. For example, how you can say water, how you can say tea, etc. We have few words, the most used words, just the useful vocabulary you're going to need in your daily life. Right. Not endless lists of words you're never going to use.
Yeah, the practical stuff to help you actually.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that makes sense. And so, does every student have access to an instructor, or is that included in the pricing, or are they paying extra to get on a live call? How does that work?
We have different products. For example, we have a self-teaching course which includes only the 45 lessons. You can book by separate. You can book live classes with your teacher. For example, you don't want the online course. You just book 10, 5, 20 sessions with your instructor to discuss the things you want to discuss. We have a business program, for example, and the person who enters here and book live classes with the business instructor focuses on what they need for an interview, or etc. Yeah. Or you can mix both of them, and you can buy an online course plus Skype lessons.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can mix them whatever you need.
That makes sense. And so, are you you're using Thinkific to charge for those live sessions? You take the payment through the course, or how does that work?
Well, first of all, I would like to say to all course instructors and online course creators that we have everything under the Thinkific platform. We have pages. We offer different products and different custom links on our Thinkific page, and we have different products. Everything on Thinkific, and we have used integrations. For example, you use MailChimp for the automatic workflow. We use a PayPal to charge. We cannot use Stripe because here in Mexico it's not available in dollars. But we use SumoMe for offering lead magnets, etc. So we are taking advantage of all these integrations that Thinkific offers. And the specific part of instructors, we have the page of instructor as if it was the page of a course on Thinkific. And then when they want to book the class, we redirect them to a different platform, scheduling platform. We use some provider external to Thinkific, and we charge via PayPal.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Because Thinkific doesn't offer this scheduling service, but in the future, when it's done, we will use it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. That's very interesting. I like the format that you've created for your courses. Your students can go through the content on their own at their own pace, and whenever they want to actually speak to someone and get some practice, they can do that. They can set up a call with an instructor. Now, one thing I want to talk about is marketing your course. Now, as I mentioned when I introduced you earlier this year, you went through our marketing challenge that we put together for our customers, and you ended up enrolling several students after having gone through that. So I want to talk about some of the things that you did during that period to promote your course and to enroll some new students. So
Yes.
what have been some of the ways that you've been promoting your course?
Well, I don't know if you wanted to share a screen to show you the specific aspects of the web page, or you preferred me that I speak.
Yeah, you can just speak, because what we can do is we'll write an article as well, and we can put some screenshots in the article.
Okay, at the beginning we started with our old web page. We didn't have lead magnets, we didn't have form registrations, we didn't have anything of the suggestions that I'd received on the 30 in 30 course. And they started by talking about the pitch, the sales pitch, the copy of the page, and we started to create these ideas, these pitches to attract people. Have you ever tried to learn a language? Have you tried Spanish courses? Do you already speak Spanish? You don't? Well, we can offer you a solution, etc. Mm-hmm. And then we offered a lead magnet. That was the second teaching I learned from the 30 in 30 course, a lead magnet. And we are offering right now a free ebook on the 15 essential tips you have to use when trying to learn a foreign language. In fact, it applies to any language, but we are speaking about Spanish, and you can download the free PDF or ebook.
Right.
And then we started to create this automatic workflow. We don't use ConvertKit because we already had our list on MailChimp, and we are more familiar with it. But we started to create a workflow with these people who have downloaded the free ebook, and also the people who registered to the free lessons we are offering in each course, because we also offer free lessons to try our courses. You can for example enroll in a course and try 4, 5, 6 lessons for free, and decide if you want to buy the full course. And all these ideas help us grow our list. Mm-hmm. And we email every week to all our subscribers free content. For example, an article on the difference between the verbs ser and estar in Spanish. It's kind of confusing for native English speakers, and we offer different articles each week on content. Mm-hmm. And we also promote our contents, our blog, our courses, our free book in our social networks. We have 5 social networks mainly, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. And we try to create a relation with people interested in learning Spanish. And what we try to offer, and it's other part of our unique value proposition, is interesting contents. We are trying to offer in our lessons cultural aspects of Mexican or Hispanic culture. We are trying to offer interesting contents on philosophy, psychology, history, and it's not the typical lesson you will learn. I'm at the school. Yo estoy aquí. We're trying to offer interesting contents, and that's what we do. And we also have make an investment in Google Ads. Mm-hmm. That's basically how we market our courses. But the great problem we are facing here is how to bring more traffic to our webpage.
Right. Okay, so just to summarize some of those things that you put together. So one of the first steps was to work on the sales page for your course. You made sure you had more content there, more information about your course, some of those questions that really spoke to the challenges and the pain points of your target market. So you had your sales page was optimized. Then you created a lead magnet, which for those who aren't unfamiliar with the term, is like just a free resource, something that you give away in exchange for somebody's email address. So you created an ebook, the 15 tips it was for learning Spanish. What did you call the lead magnet?
the 15 essential tips to learn Spanish.
Okay. And so you were giving that away for free to get people on a newsletter.
Yes.
And then you're sending free content to your newsletter on a regular basis, like articles to your blog, maybe other articles that you find or videos on YouTube, etc. But at some point in those emails, you promote your course to them, right? And
what we have seen is that emails that offer sales or discounts have not the answer we expect. People don't open, or people unsubscribe from our mail list when we offer discounts, or we try to sell.
Right. Yeah. Okay. No, and that's totally normal. That's to be expected, because there are people out there who all they want is free stuff, and they don't want to buy anything. So when it's not necessarily a bad thing to get those unsubscribes, like even at Thinkific, whenever we send out emails every week too, and most of it's all content, most of it's all resources. But whenever we have like we did Black Friday not too long ago, right? So we did a Black Friday deal for Thinkific. It brought in a lot of customers, but it also brought in, or I guess got a lot of people to unsubscribe as well. So you kind of gotta expect that whenever you pitch, some people do unsubscribe, and that's okay, because those are the people who probably weren't going to buy anyway. And if what you have is good, and if it's a value, and if it helps somebody, then the people who are interested will take advantage of it, right? So you ended up with you basically had a sales funnel put together, the sales page, your lead magnet, your follow-up emails afterwards. And so when you went through the 30 and 30 challenge, what did you do at that time to get people to take the lead magnet and get onto your newsletter? How are you promoting the lead magnet?
Well, the most powerful way I found was the integration with Sumo Meet. This pop-up that appears in a web page. At the beginning, I had the list builder who comes from the bottom of the page in a very polite manner, and we had good results, but I discovered that the conversions doubled when we implemented the pop-up. And now if you enter our web page, you will see that the pop-up follows you everywhere, well, except the page where you're just actually buying, but and it's been very, very interesting, the result we're getting with it. We have an average of let's say 9 or 8 or 9 new emails every day.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Cool. Do you know like what percentage that is of like how many people per day visit your site? And then
yes, I have this. The analytics of Sumomi are very interesting, and we have about 15% of our visitors become subscribers.
Okay, great.
We are having different results of visitors, but that's the average.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And so for you, the next step, it sounds like, is going to be scaling up and getting more traffic to your site, because you've got a lead magnet, you have a conversion rate, you know how much you sell your course for. You know how many people that are on your email list end up buying your course. So you should be able to work backwards from there and figure out what you can afford to spend to get someone to your website. Yes. Knowing like how, if let's say you get 100 people to your website, 15 people on your email list, and out of 15 people on your email list, how many become a student, you can work backwards from there. Now, in terms of getting people to your website in the first place, so what you mentioned, you're doing some things on social media, you're creating some free content as well, like blogging. And so do you have your own blog, or are you putting stuff on YouTube, or where are you putting this free content?
We have our own blog. We have different categories, different topics. For example, language learning articles, travel articles from different Spanish-speaking countries, attractions, touristic attractions. We have Spanish sayings. We have a free podcast in Spanish. We have different categories, and we publish regularly in our blog. And that's the content we offer via our emailing workflow.
Right, right. Okay. Oh, okay. That sounds great. So I've got a couple more questions for you. In terms of the equipment, like for recording and actually creating your content, what kind of setup are you using? Do you have like a microphone, camera? What sort of things are you using to make your courses?
Well, regarding texts and videos, we did them on our personal computer.
Mm-hmm.
And the recordings were in a professional studio. We went with some engineering. That's what I'm sorry. It was part of our biggest investment.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning. We paid some engineers to record and to edit the sound, etc. Mm-hmm. And now we are only working on marketing the course. We are not producing any more lessons because courses are complete right now.
Yeah.
But let's say we worked in our personal computers and on a professional studio.
Right, right, okay. What would you say has been your biggest challenge with teaching online and creating online courses? And if you could tell us what that challenge is, and if somebody else is facing a similar challenge, what could you say to them to help them, overcome that or get through that?
Yes, I know. Well, I wrote something here. But the first challenge I have to face is how to maximize the use of my time. Mm-hmm. Because I'm kind of busy. I have my work, which takes me most of the day. And the first challenge is try to set separate times for working on your project and be consistent every day, and try to turn off all distractors. And concentrate on your course, because you need to be very, very consistent, very disciplined, very persistent to launch the course. And most of our online course creators know this. And the second is that I have to read and to learn many things every day. For example, as a Spanish teacher, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know about sales funnels. I didn't know about programming. I didn't know about many things. And I had to learn, and I had to read, and I had to study, and I had to watch videos, and I had to read blog articles, and many other things that I have taken tons of hours. And you have to be willing to learn every day. Google Analytics, MailChimp workflows, sales funnels, everything. And this is a new world for me, and that's a challenge, because you have to be willing to learn. You have to be open to listen to some people who criticize your work, mm-hmm. who make suggestions. At the beginning, we started with an idea, and then we had a feedback. We have a 30-minute feedback from Brian Tracy. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but Brian Tracy.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's Canadian too, but he lives in the United States. He's this best-selling author, and we won a contest with him. And we promote our product in his webpage, and we won a coaching call with him, and practically, in a very polite manner, but practically he destroyed our product. And it sounds difficult. Webpage is not responsive. It's not working. It makes me difficult to the process of learning. Yeah. And we started to start all over again. And well, you have to be open as a course creator to critics, to suggestions, and to learn and to implement new things. Once you considered it was over, well, it's never over. The work is permanent. Huh?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think we always need to be learning and improving, and we will never get something perfect. Even if we think it's perfect, it may not be perfect to somebody else, and so they're going to give us some ideas that we had, we didn't even realize were options. So I think that's a good lesson that you've shared there is, have patience, give yourself time to learn all of the different things you need to learn. Because at the end of the day, if you create an online course and you're trying to promote yourself and get customers, you're being an entrepreneur. That's an entrepreneurial venture. And
it's a life business.
And it's a business. It's an online business. And there's a lot of pieces and moving parts in an online business, and so it does take time to set up all those parts. But if you
this is a personal project we're going to have for the rest of our lives. So it's time. And other challenge I would like to share with our online course creators is that regarding to price, how to price your course. I've been watching the videos from Greg. He has an online course on how to price your course.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the advantages of valuing your work and your product and set a fair price. Because we at the beginning we started to offer our courses as the best option in the market in terms of price.
Right.
And then we discovered that that was not our most important value.
Okay.
Our most important value was the method, was the course, was the content, was the love we put in our course, the personal attention. And we are actually increasing our prices for next year. We are having sales. We are announcing the price increase. And it's because of this idea I learned from Greg in this course.
Yeah, yeah, and that's you know, pricing is a big topic as well. But we have seen a lot of people will do that, is they'll start off at a lower price point just to prove the fact that there's a market for their course, just to get their first few students enrolled, get some testimonials, get some feedback, improve their course, and then as they improve their course, they increase their price over time. And so I'm glad to see that that's happening for you. And absolutely, if you know that the value is there and you've got case studies of people who have been through your course and you know it can help people, then you should absolutely be charging you know, what the course is worth, and not undercharge.
Another thing is the completion rates. In certain courses, the completion rates are very easy to have because it's a practical technique you learn for doing something. In case of languages, you never say, I speak the language. I really know how to speak Spanish in this case. And completion rates are low because people don't persevere in learning a language. I don't know if you yourself have started studying a language or so, but what we can see is that many people quit when they're studying a language. And so it's difficult to have completion rates in our case.
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine, you know, the challenge there, because learning a language never ends. I mean, there's always more to learn, but perhaps like having, you know, a very basic level or an intermediate level, an advanced level, or courses for different, you know, you've got the course on traveling. So here's everything that you'd probably need to say when you're traveling.
Yes.
And
at the airport, at the hotel, at the park. Yeah.
Yeah, so that might, and yeah, I can definitely see why if somebody is about to go to the airport or about to go stay in a hotel or, you know, about to go traveling, then at that moment in time, they'd be more motivated to complete that specific course or that specific part of the course if it's very, very relevant to a specific situation. So I just wanted to wrap up with one more question, and thank you so much for, you know, spending the time with me on this call and for sharing, you know, your story with us and some of the things that you've been doing. We like to try to inspire people who are not yet creating online courses to start doing that, to start sharing their knowledge, whatever it is that they know how to teach, you know, to transfer that knowledge to others by creating courses online. And so you've done that, and you've been doing that for several years now, and you've had many students learn from you. So I'm just curious, what kind of an impact has sharing your knowledge and creating courses had on your life? And, you know, how is your life different from what it was before you started teaching online? Well,
the first thing you have to take into account is that we all have things to share. We all know many things, and people know many things. You would be surprised on how many knowledge people have. And the thing is that you have to share with them, you have to share with people what you know, if you're an expert in a certain field. And the first satisfaction of being online course creator is the satisfaction of sharing. Giving someone something that you have received, that you have learned during your life, and some people will learn and will use this knowledge. And second for me has been very satisfactory having students who write a testimonial, who write a review and say this course, this product is helping me. I can understand this. My teacher is great. She's teaching me how to do this, how to say that. And then listen to them expressing in Spanish. It's very, very satisfactory. It's a great satisfaction for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's awesome. Well, Luis, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and we'll definitely link to your website below the video. And so if anyone wants to get in touch with you or just learn more about your courses, is SpanishToMove.com the best place we can send people, or is
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a contact form there, and our about us page, and frequently asked questions, and etc. It's all there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Tyler, for this great opportunity.